I pray that God fills your life, fills your plate, fills your spirit, fills your mind with everything you need to be your best, your most content. And when you open your eyes and you realize what He is giving you, and you understand that it's because it's for you, I swear and I promise things will just kind of line up and alignment will happen for you. Hey you, welcome to Shades of Content, a show that teaches entrepreneurs how to effectively use content to market their business and stay content while doing it. I'm your host, Patrice, a wife, a mom of 3, and a 15-year public relations and marketing professional who decided to open a brick and mortar content studio 4 years ago. And I honestly haven't looked back since. Join me as I share my experiences and the experiences of other entrepreneurs who, like me, are navigating this maze of owning a business, running a family, and trying to stay sane and healthy while doing it. I'll tell you, it's an amazingly challenging journey, but I honestly wouldn't have it any other way. See you soon. Hey there. Are you a content mompreneur, or better yet, are you a content mompreneur? What does that mean? That means you're a mom who owns a business and is on a journey to seek contentment in your professional and personal life. If that fits you, because that is definitely me, then you need to get your Content Mompreneur checklist. Tap the link in the show notes to see exactly where you are in your journey of contentment. It's something that I am just really starting to hone in on and focus on, because the bottom line is we have to be able to find that level of peaceful satisfaction, peaceful happiness through all of our life changes. And I'm on a journey to find that for myself, and I actually want to help you find it too. So tap the link in the show notes to take your Content Mompreneur checklist, and then shoot me an email or a DM to let me know where you stand in all of that. Here's the rest of the episode. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Shades of Content. If you are a returning member of the Shades of Content community, I'm so happy that you're back. And if you're new here, welcome. I'm your host, Patrice. I am a 38-year-old married mom of 3 who is a bona fide content mompreneur. I own a business, which we're here right now, my business Camp Space. I own a business that helps creators, fellow entrepreneurs, fellow mompreneurs create content experiences to promote their businesses. And we're here right now, and my business is about creating content and using content to market other businesses. But also, I am really passionate about this idea of contentment and this thought of having peaceful satisfaction in everything that I do. And the point of this podcast or this show is to help you also figure that out. So I'm so happy that you're here. I can't remember what episode it is, and you are getting this episode a day or two late. Oh man, life has been lifing in a good way, in a productive way, but sometimes things just, I don't want to say fall through the cracks, but sometimes things get delayed. And this is one of the things that got delayed. Full transparency, I was very sick yesterday. It wasn't COVID. I got all 3 tests. They were all negative. But essentially, we went out of town, which I'll talk about a little later. My baby boy got sick on the flight with a cold. It also wasn't COVID. And me being the mom, I'm all still kissing him. Like my son, he'll come up to me and he'll be all like that, particularly when he knows he's in trouble. And you know me, I'm gonna eat it all up. So I'm kissing him and everything, clearly giving myself a cold. So I spent all day yesterday in my house on the couch doing nothing. And I woke up this morning feeling great. Not 100%, but I'm getting there. And that is a testament to making sure you get your rest and you take care of yourself. But anywho, this episode is a little late. That's okay. We're here for another episode, audio and video. Before I move into the content of this episode, you already know what I'm going to ask you to do. Rate this show. If you believe it's worth 5 stars, then make that happen. Or just however you feel about it, just give me some feedback on what you think is working or not working with the show. So rate the show, write a review in any of your audio podcast platforms. We're on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, Stitcher, pretty much any podcast platform you can find the show. So please take a second to write us a review. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe. Subscribe to the audio version of the show and also subscribe to the video version. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. My goal for the end of the year is to hit 1,000 subscribers so that we can be monetized. We're at about 560 right now, and that's organic. That's not, I haven't paid for any subscribers. And so I'm going to keep putting out the consistent content because I know that that helps bring more eyes, but I also just need you to subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, and that's what I'm asking you to do. All right. So I think we're ready to get into the episode. I have my notes, so if you see me looking down, if you're watching the video, don't mind me. Your girl is always prepared. It took me maybe 15 minutes to draft this or to script this episode. That'd be another reason or example or confirmation that I am doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm also praying that the camera battery doesn't die while I'm doing this. So we might move through this episode a little quickly. This is a solo episode for me, but also solo episode from a production standpoint. My guy Ty is not here to help tweak the audio, but sometimes it bees like that. Me being sick just kind of pushed production back, and I didn't want to impede on anybody's schedule, even though Ty is always he just be available, and that's why I rock with him so much. But sometimes you just gotta make it happen and do what it is that you do. So the title of this episode is it's gonna be something to the effect of how to maneuver when you have a full plate. And when I tell you, the last month, my plate has been full off some Thanksgiving, full off some, you go to the family reunion and you get that plate and you put every single thing on that joint, like it's stacked. That's how your girl's plate has been. And after getting back from this family vacation and thinking about what I wanted this episode to hit on, it gave me the opportunity to actually think back and rewind for the past month. I don't know if you have an opportunity to ever do that. I say probably 6 out of the 12 months of a year, I spend some time looking back on the previous month. And I do that honestly with the help of my passion planner, which I have right here. This is my passion planner. I talked about it before. I have been a passion planner enthusiast. This is probably my seventh one. And this thing is life. I put everything in it. It's highlighted. I don't play around. Anyway, at the end of every month, Passion Planner gives you an opportunity to reflect on the month that just passed. And that gives me the opportunity to literally turn the page of all the previous weeks in the month and see what I did, what I succeeded in, what I could have done better, who helped me get through. And so I haven't actually been able to do that over the last 2 months, but as I wrapped up July to get into August, I needed to do that also to prepare for this episode. So the theme again of this episode is going to be navigating through life's busy and hectic seasons. But again, instead of positioning it as I'm just busy, I'm hectic, it's crazy, it's chaotic, I really want you to reposition it as my plate is full. Full means abundance. Full means complete. Full means, it could also mean stuffed. So I don't know if we want to say that. But full has a much more positive connotation. And so that's how I want to kind of think through this episode, right? How are we maneuvering through life's full seasons? And if you're a mom, I got 3 of them joints. If you're a spouse, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're working a job, a full-time career, y'all, having careers is no easy feat. And people be talking about entrepreneurship, this, but shout out to all the women specifically who are doing all the things at home and still building amazing careers. I have so many friends who I love who are doing that, and I'm always blown away. So A full plate can mean more money. It can mean more relationships. It can mean more events. And for me, it literally meant all of the above. So I'm going to walk you through it. And if my camera fails or if my camera dies, I'm going to just start recording on this trusty cell phone, baby, because we're going to get this thing done. I've been pushing it off for too long. All right. So I'm going to take you through my month of July. All right. So on July 3rd, July 1st was, I believe, a Friday. July 3rd, I went to church, right? And before I went to church, I got on my knees and I prayed out loud. I said to God for a sign to tell me to continue on with my business, okay? I get to church and the theme or the title of the sermon was Don't Let Go. Shout out to my pastor, Keith Battle of Zion Church. I love it there. So I prayed to God on July 3rd and I said to him, God, again, give me a sign. And the name of the sermon was Don't Let Go in all bold letters. While I'm sitting in church, also, I decided to pull up my cell phone and go to the church's website. I never do this because I like to be focused on what I'm learning. But on July 3rd, I pulled out my phone and I just went to the church's website. And then I proceeded to click About and Employment. And as I'm looking on the website, I see an opportunity that was literally for me. Okay. It was like God saying, hey girl, this you. So I go home immediately and I maximize on that opportunity. Fast forward to the weekend of July 8th. We do a full podcast production shoots. You guys have already seen those episodes. And so from July 4th, actually July 5th, because the 4th was a holiday, the 5th through the 7th, 2 days, I was preparing like crazy for this production shoot day. That weekend of July 8th, I had a production shoot, I had a birthday dinner, and then on Sunday, I had a family tour of DC. I actually did an Instagram reel recap of that, so I'll link it in the show notes so you can check it out. We had a really good time. Needless to say, the weekend of July 8th was not a rest weekend for me. It was nonstop. Okay, pause for the cause. If you are watching this, you see that the whole view has changed because indeed my camera died, so I'm finishing this on my cell phone. But okay, so fast forward to July 11th, my beautiful baby sister is expecting. She's not a baby, but she's my only sibling and we're 15 years apart. So of course, I am happily planning her baby shower. I also planned her gender reveal right here. And if you go to the Shades of Content YouTube, I vlogged about that whole thing, so you'll get to see it. I was very proud of myself. I had never attended or planned a gender reveal, so that was really cool. But yeah, so it's July 11th and my sister's baby shower is July 31st. We had kind of considered pushing it back, but I'm so happy I didn't push it back because life was already happening. So essentially I had 20 days to pull her baby shower together. We already knew that it was happening, so I had already kind of looked at venues and like I had already kind of started putting the pieces together, but I hadn't confirmed a venue. Shout out to my mom for making that happen. The venues that I had researched just were way too expensive. I hadn't confirmed, I confirmed the DJ and the photographer, but I hadn't confirmed the balloon decor, the desserts. Didn't do any of it, okay? So I had 20 days, really not even 20 nights, less than that, because you need to have it before the actual event. You need to have that stuff like a couple days before. So July 11th is a Monday. I get serious with the baby shower prep. I send out the invitations. I finalize the venue with my mom, and I really have an idea of what the decor is going to look like. But then also I have a phone call with an entirely different opportunity that would be a great business move for camp. If you've been following the rebrand situation, that rebrand series, you know that camp is rebranding, revamping. And a part of that rebrand is me offering new services. And so this call that kind of came out of the blue, not really out of the blue, but it was a relationship that I had already had. But this specific opportunity came out of the blue, but it was through a relationship that I had and honestly had been nurturing for a while on a personal level. All right, so fast forward to July 12th. A major storm hits our city. And when I say our city, I legit mean our street, you guys. So this rain was not expected. I do think I remember seeing some type of alert, like, emergency storm warning, but you get those a lot. You think it's going to be a thunderstorm. This storm probably lasted a good 15 to 20 minutes. I was with both of my babies. They were home. My oldest son was at the University of Maryland at the basketball court, which is super close to our house. And I saw it get pitch black dark. And I knew that when it's storming like this, you go into the basement. So I took the kids in the basement. The power was out and we were down there for a good 15 minutes. I came back upstairs because the original plan was to drop my babies off at my mother-in-law's house because I had something to do that evening. And so I said, well, I'm gonna still stick with the script because at that point I didn't know that they also didn't have power. I go out, we get in the car, I get the babies, and I start to ride around the neighborhood and I see trees uprooted, as in like trees that have been in existence for probably 50, 60 years. Their roots were at least 5 feet high. If they were on the ground, then they would have spread out 5 feet in both ways. But so the trees were uprooted, so the roots were sticking up 5 to 6 feet. I saw trees on my street crash down and split homes in two. And so needless to say, thank God, nobody was physically hurt. All the homes that were demolished, essentially, none of the people were home when it happened. So thank God that the structural damage was the only damage. But through all of that, we did not have power for 4 days. I was supposed to get the proposal done into that potential camp client within 2 days. So that pushed back that whole process. My kids, they were still able to go to summer camp. We were still able to make that happen, but they did miss 1 day of school. And that was really scary. So that was July 12th when that happened. July 13th, I had already had scheduled a spa day with my girls. We were going to go to Four Seasons Baltimore because that's where I do my spa days. And none of my friends who all live within 20 minutes of me, none of their homes were affected. Like they didn't have the strong winds that I had in my city on my street. So the plan was to go to a spa day, but when you don't have power and you have little kids, and I didn't feel right leaving my family. And I was like really stressed out, crying, not because I was going to miss my spa day, but because I was preparing for this day of self-care. And I did all the things I was supposed to do. Like I planned it with my husband, the kids was good, everything was straight. And then this storm happens that I have no control over, and it totally impacts the entire process. So the day of, me and my husband are going back and forth. At this point, we're really irritated with each other because it's high stress. And I just say, let's do a staycation. Let's all go to Baltimore. There were no rooms at the Four Seasons, so we found a hotel. My husband dropped me off at the Four Seasons with my homegirls, which I needed because I was so stressed. So when I walked up there and I saw my girls sitting in the spot, I was just like, I love y'all. So he dropped me off. This is July 13th, a Wednesday. He goes with the kids to the hotel. He takes them for a pool day. They come back to the hotel after the spa day, lunch, dinner, just hanging out with my girls. I take an Uber to the hotel. We chill. The next day we come on back home. I still haven't done a proposal yet because I didn't bring my laptop, right? Like still need to get this proposal done. We don't get power until probably that Saturday because I ended up going to my mom's house on Thursday when I realized there was no power and staying with my mom, my parents. The weekend comes, July 15th, we have power. I'm able to get the proposal done, but then I also get a last minute invitation to Chef Tobias, who I used to manage for a while. He's opening a new restaurant. Shout out to Honcho House. Chef Tobias has also been on the show many, many times. Well, he's only been on the show for once, but he's a brother to me. So he was having a pop-up dinner to kind of preview his new restaurant, and he invited me, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go. So I went to that dinner. It was really fun. We had a good time. And that weekend, I just decided to relax, to chill. The weekend before was busy. Then we had a storm, and it was just like chaos, chaos, chaos. Even in me having that spa day, we was drinking. And I've kind of like limited my drinking because I don't like how it makes me feel. And even after the spa day, I just told my husband, yo, I can't drink like that anymore. It just doesn't feel good. So that day really wasn't a day of rest. That was a day of celebration with my girls. So that the week before, it was just crazy. So the weekend of July 15th, I just said, I'm going to chill. And I sat in the house with my family and we relaxed. Okay, so then we get back to July 18th, which I believe is a Monday or a Tuesday. I have a call with the camp client who accepts the proposal. I sent them the proposal, they accepted it. And by them accepting it, that means I have to travel to Atlanta for 3 days for their conference and get back the night before my sister's baby shower, which, remember, I'm still trying to pull that together as well. So at that point, I'm like, oh shit, it's a mad dash to a mad dash to order all the things that I need for my sister. Her shower, the theme was like beige, cream, rose gold. Those were the colors. And so I'm really thankful for Amazon. I want to be really clear on that. I put in rose gold decor. Everything came up. So I ordered everything, made sure it got to my home on time. So like it was a mad dash to get that though, because I didn't want to have to worry about the baby shower when I went to Atlanta for this client camp event. All right. So that is the week of July 18th. Then we get into July 23rd. And July 23rd is when ish gets real, right? So I've accepted, the client has accepted the proposal. I know I have to travel, which is something that came out of left field, but it's an opportunity that I'm not going to pass up. This is God just putting things on my plate. God putting things on my plate, things that I've asked for. I've asked you, God, to tell me if I should let my business go. You tell my pastor to give a sermon that says don't let go. You then present this amazing opportunity where I can test out a service that I have been considering. Like you stacking a plate, plate's full. So the weekend of the 23rd comes. Okay. The weekend of the 23rd. So the weekend before, I chilled because we had just had a pretty massive natural disaster in my area. But then the weekend of the 23rd comes, and this is my husband's family reunion. My husband is Haitian, if you don't know. He has a lot of family that lives in Jersey, Philly, Boston, Florida, Singapore. So his cousin that lives in Singapore, she came to the States, and we knew this was happening. We had planned this. She rented a home, a really beautiful home, not far from our home, from where we live, maybe like 15 minutes. She rented that home for the weekend, and all the family came and stayed there, and we had a family reunion, and it was amazing. But that took me out of the game for Saturday and Sunday of July 23rd. In addition, I helped them put this thing together. Me having an event space, me being a planner, I know how to put stuff together. So I was the one that was responsible for getting the caterer. My little cousin on my family side, I had her come and watch the Singapore family members' friends because she's a nanny. So she watched them. I got a lot of the products like the sternos, all the Party City stuff. I got all of that. So I essentially helped co-plan a family reunion. I also got the tables, the chairs, the decor, furniture rentals from a company that I work with all the time. So that was quite an undertaking. I just remember that weekend I was like moving, like, blah, 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 blah. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to pick my son up from Northwest. I got to go work out. It was like serious. Okay. Also, before the family reunion, I get an email from that other opportunity that I found out about through my church on the website that they want me to do an interview, essentially. So I am with the family on the Saturday, the 23rd, and then they all get together on the 24th, but I can't make it because I need to do a virtual one-person interview. So while I'm at the reunion on the 23rd, I'm like, cool, but I'm not doing too much because I know I got to get up the next morning and do this interview. So the Sunday comes. I don't even remember if I went to church that morning. I can't recall, but I think I did. Yes, I did go to church. And then I came back to my space and I did that interview, took care of it, sent it in, and then let God handle what he needed to handle. This opportunity with my church, this opportunity with my church, I'm just following God's lead on it. And if I'm being honest, that's how I'm trying to move through life. Just follow God's lead, do your part, and fall back. So in every step of this process, I saw the opportunity on the website. I applied, did my best, fell back. Did not think anything of it. Did not check just kept it moving. Got the email about the first interview, did it my best, fell back. I was nervous because I haven't interviewed in a long time, but apparently I did well. So we're going to put a pencil in that. So now we gotten through the weekend of the 23rd and we are in the week of the 25th, okay? So July 25th through the 28th, I have 3 days to pull together a lot of stuff. And I'm going to actually be looking at my notes for this because I want to make sure you understand the magnitude of this full plate life that I'm talking about. And I just want you to understand that through all of the things that was put on my plate, we still got it done. Okay, so July 25th was a Monday. Again, I had 3 days to lock in all of my sister's baby shower details, prepare for the camp client travel. That means hair needs to get done, nails need to get done, I need to pack, and I need to get my kids, the babies, together so that my husband can go to work but still do what he need to do with them, right? He works a full-time job that's pretty demanding. So if I have to go out of town, I like to set things up to lighten the load for him because I don't work a full-time job. I don't have the 9-to-5 demands that he does. Like, I don't have to go in anywhere. He has to be at his desk every day. I need to get my oldest son ready for a 3-day overnight enrichment camp. And I need to still be a mom and run this business. Thankfully, the Shades of Content episodes were already done. So that's what needs to happen. On the 26th, I have an alumni dinner. So I'm on the board of the University of Maryland School of Communications, the alumni board. I'm on the board for that. We had a meeting, like a dinner meeting where we had to vote for awards people, right? The 27th, I was just running around, packing nails, all that stuff. The 28th, I left for Atlanta for the camp client. So I made sure that everything was done. So when I was in Atlanta, I did not have to worry about anybody or anything but my client, creating content for them. That was 2.5 days of me immersing myself in their world for their conference while being a fly on the wall and creating engaging content. At this point also, I'm having all of the things there's still things being sent to me for this baby shower. Then the 28th again, I left for Atlanta, was there. July 30th, I flew back home right after the last event for the conference. And even the conference planners, they said to me after the last event on Saturday, they were like, so are you coming to the staff dinner? And I was like, no, I have to fly home. My sister's baby shower. So I flew home. It was like a 9:00 flight, PM. I got home around 11:30. I literally had to have the baker that made the custom macaroons for the baby shower. They brought them to my house at midnight because they weren't going to be able to bring them in the morning. And I damn sure wasn't going to be able to pick them up the next day on the shower day. So they dropped them off. And then I went to sleep. I did not get much sleep because also on the flight back, I met this really dope educator. And we talked the whole flight and we had wine and we had champagne. So I was a little hungover, not really hungover, but after you drink a little bit, you wake up the next morning, you're kind of feeling it, which I said I wasn't going to do, but I needed to decompress. So then the morning of July 31st comes, okay? My sister's shower starts at 1:00. However, I wake up at 7 because I need to come to camp. I need to clean my brick and mortar because we had bookings. So I woke up super early. My family was all still sleeping. I came to camp. I then went to Whole Foods to pick up the cake that I ordered. I then went to Giant to pick up the cupcakes that I ordered because I had a whole dessert table situation. Then I needed to come home, change, get my kids ready. Thankfully, I had already put all the clothes together. So I knew what I was wearing. I knew what my kids were wearing. Everything that needed to go with me to the shower, I set that up. So I didn't mention this, but when I got home the night before from the flight from Atlanta, I consolidated all of the materials that needed to come to the shower. So all my husband needed to do was pick up one box and put it in the car. I didn't go to sleep. When I got home on Saturday night, I cleaned up, I consolidated all the shower stuff, and I just labeled everything so that I knew what was happening.
Hey guys, if you know me, you know that I am really locked into my fitness journey and just using fitness as a way to take care of myself. And while I do a lot of work in the gym, I also know that what I do in the kitchen matters. And I only trust Orgain, Orgain, with my protein products. They literally make the best protein products on the market. I live by my vanilla protein shake. They're clean, they have plant-based options, and it's really a great product that I end to use every single day. So if you're looking for a healthy, safe, natural protein product, definitely check out Orgain. There's a link in the show notes, and if you use my code Patrice, Patrice 9, you get a special discount. So tap the link in the show notes and take your fitness to a next level. Get your protein in. The link is in the show notes. Bye.
So we traveled to I pack the babies up. I'm dressed. We're ready to go. I get them to the venue for the baby shower, and we begin setting up. My mom got there, and her best friend from high school was there, and we set it up, and we made it so beautiful. If you're watching, I popped in some videos so you can just see how amazing it was. I'm really proud of myself. That was also, actually, it wasn't my first baby shower. This first baby shower I hosted was for my really good girlfriend, Chrissy, who you guys met in the Momcation episode. Me and Erica, who's also in the Momcation episode, we planned her baby shower back in 2006. I haven't planned one since, and it was such an honor to plan my sister's baby shower, and I cannot wait for my little niece to get here. Anywho, I digress. So we had an amazing baby shower that was on July 31st. I felt good. Me and my mom, we had our champagne. We kept looking at each other like, girl, we did it. And my mom, while I was in it, because I don't really buckle under pressure. Like, I'm typically not the type to like get mean and get da-da-da-da-da. Because for the most part, I know I have a plan. And even if the plan, I haven't figured it out until 10 minutes before, I know that I have a plan. And as long as I can execute it in peace, I'm not going to give you a lot of attitude. So my mom, she was just like, okay, Patrice, what do you need me to do next? What do you need? And she just made it happen. Of course, also with her finding the venue, just being that support that I needed. And so while we were at the shower, while we're just enjoying it, decompressing, she said to me, she pulls me to the side, I believe, and she's like, you did it, girl. You had so much going on and you did it. And I'm just so proud of you. And I don't think you realize the magnitude of having those full plates when you're in the full plate seasons. So when you hear someone say, you did it, you maneuvered, you handled the full plate with grace, that just kind of resonated with me. All right, so that was the 31st of July. We going into August now, okay? August 1st, I put in my calendar a week and a half before I went to Atlanta. Once I knew that I had booked that Atlanta job, I put in my calendar that on Monday, August 1st, the first of the month, I would not be doing anything for anybody but myself. So I scheduled a pool day. If you know me, if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I like to sit by the pool and just decompress. And a lot of times at this point when I go there, I used to go there to like have a drink and eat, but now I literally just go there to chill. I told my husband, I was like, baby, once I get past this baby shower, I'm not doing anything. I'm dropping them kids off and I'm going to the pool. And that is what I did. I went to the pool. I got there around 11 o'clock a.m. And do y'all know I fell asleep at the pool? Not at the pool. I fell asleep in the pool, which probably isn't the safest, but I remember lying on the pool, like I was just on the side of the pool, right? You know how you just be hanging out on the thing. And it's not deep, it was like 4.5 feet, 4 feet. And I had my towel, I had my book, I had my phone under a towel, and I just was laid on the edge of the pool like this. And I think 30 minutes later, I was like, oh crap, I think I fell asleep in the pool. And I guess nobody thought I was like drunk or dead because nobody woke me up. And I wasn't drunk, and obviously I wasn't dead. But when I woke up, I felt like refreshed. So that's how I knew I took a nap. And that is also how I knew that I needed to get that nap because I was tired, right? So August 2nd comes, which is a Tuesday, and we get back to it. Now, the week before, right before I go to Atlanta, me and my husband, we knew we wanted to take the kids to Orlando to Disney World, but we hadn't booked it. And if you listen to the show before, like when I talk about my birthday weekend, you know, me and my husband are good for booking something right before we go, even when it has the kids involved. So I didn't task him with planning the Orlando trip, but he just went ahead and took care of it because he knew that that just really wasn't something that I had time for. So my husband, shout out to my babe, he planned the trip, booked the flights, found the hotel, got went on base, purchased all the attraction tickets, so the Magic Kingdom tickets, the Universal tickets, the Animal Kingdom tickets, the Epcot tickets. He went and purchased all of those on base. He took care of everything. All I needed to do was pack the kids and pretty much go to the flight, right? So August 2nd comes again. That's a Tuesday. I'm back to it. I am preparing for our family vacation to Orlando. That included packing, shopping for the kids. Actually, I didn't really shop for myself. I bought a few things. Actually, I didn't buy a few things. Rewind back to me preparing for Atlanta. I bought all black professional clothes. So for 2.5 days, I had to wear all black. I believe that when you are a vendor at a professional event where you're behind the scenes, you should be in all black. You literally people should not be able to notice you. So you can move and get what you need to do. And when I was creating content for that conference, I literally was like crawling on the floor. Okay. So me crawling on the floor in a bright pink outfit, not cool. But me crawling on the floor in some black slacks and a black professional shirt works a lot better. I got every single thing that I needed, including really comfortable black flat shoes from Target. And while I was in Target for the trip, purchasing things for the conference work, I just picked up like two little pieces that I ended up taking to Disney World. Still didn't wear them, right? Anywho, so Tuesday, August 2nd, I'm planning everything. And then August 3rd, which is a Wednesday, I am speaking. I spoke to kids at Ballou High School. Shout out to my high school friend, Justin Taylor. He works at Ballou High School in Southeast DC. And I knew I had to speak to them probably 2-3 weeks before. Did not prepare anything. And I just let the Lord lead me. When I got there, because I know how to speak in front of people. I was a teacher. Like, I know how to maneuver in those situations. I ended up putting together a presentation on all the different ways you can monetize your content. And so that went over really well. I'm probably going to do that webinar again and charge people for it. So be on the lookout for that. And so my son went with me to that, as well as my oldest son and my daughter went with me to that. And then August 4th was a Thursday. That's when we left for a vacation, for our Orlando vacation. Again, this was just last week, y'all. But get this. The day that I left, or the night before, I heard back from the church Opportunity telling me that they wanted to do a panel interview. The only times that were available for the panel interview were while I was in Orlando on vacation. I'm not going to pass that up. Again, God is leading me and moving me into each of these different steps. So let's just go with it. So while I'm packing for the trip to Orlando, I made sure that I packed a professional top. And then I knew that when I got to Orlando, I was going to need to find a co-work space that I could rent out a private meeting room, because that's where I was going to need to do this interview. Preparing for the Orlando trip, this is a family trip, so I would not have normally brought my big old laptop, but I had to bring that. I had to bring like my professional things so that I knew that I would have everything that I needed to present well on this, for this interview, right? All right, so we're in Orlando. We left on the 4th. The 5th was Friday. We went to Magic Kingdom. We went to Epcot and Animal Kingdom, had a great time. And then the Saturday, my son, he got a little cold while he was on the flight. So that Saturday, I kept the babies home and we just chilled at the resort while my oldest son and my husband went to Orlando Studios. So essentially, we didn't use 3 of our Orlando passes, but we have a full year to use them. So needless to say, we will be back in Orlando in the next year. So they went to Universal Studios. They got their boy time. The next day, we went to Magic Kingdom. That was Sunday. Had a great time. And then on August 8th, That was the Monday. That was the day before we left. I had this interview. So I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning, which is honestly when I always wake up. And I prepared to be professional while on a family vacation. I drove, we booked the co-work space, and I say we because my husband helped me, because when I got back from Magic Kingdom the night before, I was so tired. I had nothing left in me to prepare for an interview. Nothing. Thank God I had a conversation about that kind of helped get me in the mindset of what this interview could look like. So I did have some notes to prep with, but when we got back to the resort, I was just exhausted and I could not get ready the day before. The only thing I could do the night before was book the co-work space. So we booked the co-work space. We wake up the next morning, which is August 8th, and I traveled to the facility, the co-work space, to do the interview, but I don't like the shirt that I brought. So I find a Target on the way. Again, I'm in Orlando in a rental car. I don't know where I am. I'm just figuring it out. And I bought 3 shirts. The Orlando Target, the women's department, has no professional attire. Maybe because people don't have professional jobs in Orlando. Who knows? But they had no professional attire that I could wear for this interview. So I went to the men's section and found an extra small button-up shirt, pulled my hair back, stud earrings, and then I got to the co-work space. My interview was at 9:15. I got to the co-work space at 8:45, got settled, was literally mad dashing to write down notes and kind of prepare, logged on at 9:15, did the interview, and it went great. I was a little nervous, but thankfully the energy, the welcome nature, it just felt really good. So I was very happy that I got that interview done. Came back to the resort, met up with the family, and I was starving. So we went to, this is again August 8th, 8/8. We go to a restaurant that is really cute. The food was good. While I'm at the restaurant, we do tours of this space on Mondays. And so I had 2 tours scheduled. The first tour, they were not able to open the front door of my business. And they just said, you know what, we can't open the door, so we're going to leave. And I was like, dang, okay, well, just let me know. I'm interacting with them virtually via our business text. They decided to leave. The next person, though, which was around 4 o'clock while we're at dinner, she's like, I really want to see the space. And she's telling me the door won't open. So I'm saying to her, just push on the door, use your might. If you know camp, the front panel is glass. Around the door is wood. So we don't talk for about 5 minutes, and then she calls, and I hear that she's crying. In her trying to open the door, she pushed in the glass, and it shattered. It shattered. I'm laughing now because we've worked through it, but full plate. Full plate ain't always things that you want, right? Full plate is just life. So I'm in Orlando, Florida with my kids. Someone is in my business hundreds and hundreds of miles away, and the glass is shattered. Like, what the hell? What the hell? So I'm not panicking though. I've had a drink. I've eaten well. I'm keeping my husband abreast. He's right across from me at the dinner table. And I tell her, we handle it, okay? We handle it. But at the end of the day, I still have a door that has no glass, and there's shattered glass. My landlord, this is not her responsibility. So it's not for her to pay for or handle, but she does connect me with the glass company. They come within an hour and they board the door up. It's an eyesore. It doesn't really look well. There's a picture of it. But what do you do? So we get that done. And then let me tell y'all something. Camp is slow in the summertime. Okay. The last 2 weeks, there have been no bookings during the week. Of course, this shattered glass door not opening debacle happens right before I have a big return client coming, okay? This client flies in from Atlanta once a year to shoot other customers that have paid a lot of money, and he always picks camp, right? We worked with him before. We have a great working relationship, thank God. So we deal with the glass and boarding up the door on August 8th. August 9th is when we are preparing to come home. We pack. I wash clothes. I'm a little stressed, but I get it done. I'm also trying to regulate my emotions. So I remember The night before we left, I went outside. Me and my husband kind of got into it a little bit. I went outside, sat on the deck of our resort, which was really cool because it was netted, so there were no bugs, but it was fresh air. And it was a waterfall right outside, and it was a pool. So it was really nice. And I'm sitting there, and I just it was probably like 9:00, 9:30 in the evening. And I just sit there and I just breathe. And I'm like, it's all going to be okay. I apparently fell asleep then too, very similarly to how I fell asleep at the pool. My husband told me that my daughter comes outside and she's trying to wake me up, and I don't wake up. So then I wake up and he's standing right there like, you good? Again, I needed that rest. My body was like, girl, sit down, rest. I wake up the next morning, we pack up, we get to the airport. I'm communicating with the client and he can't open the door. He has done all that he can to open the door. I know that the door is not locked because there is no lock. It's just stuck. It's an old door and it's stuck. It was raining. It was humid. It's wood. He's not able to open the door. Thank God he got there an hour early before his customer. So we had a little bit of cushion to figure it out. Because he's not able to open the door, I call Ty again, always coming through. He works in the evening, so he was able to help. And he's on point because at this point I'm at the airport about to board a flight. It's not much I can do, but if a customer is in distress at this point, I want someone on site that can help them. So Ty is able to come. I asked Ty to hop the fence to get to the back. The back door is locked. Why? Why do we lock that door? Anyway, he can't get through the back door. I called 3 locations. I called 2 locations to see who can maybe take the client for me. I'm willing to pay whatever. They didn't work out. I called another location. Shout out to my soror, Unique Jones Gibson, the owner of Dream Village, which is ironically right around the corner. I called her. She has a full plate. I don't like calling her. She has a full plate. I don't want to put nothing else on her plate, but I'm in distress. I don't know what to do. And she wanted to ensure that my client was safe and that there would be someone else from that represents camp there who was Ty. And she opened up the space and allowed the client to go there, which was only a 5-minute walk. He was able to take his equipment. Again, he is from Atlanta, so he didn't have a car. He Ubered with his equipment. He was able to pick up his equipment with the help of Ty because I put somebody else there. Go to Dream Village, service the client, and it all worked out. While he was there, while I'm on a flight, shout out to the American Airlines Wi-Fi. Okay. I find a locksmith. They come, they take the locks off the door and kind of just figure out what is the problem. They actually have to pry the door open because that was big. Like the door wouldn't open. So they handle that. I finally get back home to the DMV. The client is happy. Unique did such a solid for me. And I'm just forever, forever, forever grateful for her. And also while we're flying, my kids in that airport was showing their whole ass. I think they knew that mommy was in stress. And the way that they acted, I wanted to beat their asses. However, I did. I had to pop Parker while we was on the flight before we took off. But they both fell asleep like within 10 minutes of takeoff. So I was able to have a peaceful flight. Unfortunately, I wasn't in first class this flight, so I couldn't have a drink, but that's okay. I chilled. And we made it home, and thank God for the community. And fast forward to the following day, August 10th. What day is today? Today's the 12th. August 10th, I felt myself getting sick. Okay. August 11th, which was yesterday, I was out for the count. Your girl was head hurting. It was a head cold, a little bit of cough. So I had to stay in the house all day. This was my body telling me, first of all, don't be kissing your kid all in the mouth when he's sick. But also, Patrice, you've had an insane month. I'm tired. So I stayed home all day yesterday. I was on my laptop. I was on my phone. I was able to lock in door people that could provide estimates for fixing the door. I was able to do all my son's health forms for school.
So I was able to get some things done, but I just did not leave the house yesterday. I went outside and I was in my backyard for about 30 minutes while I was on the phone with my mom, just updating her on life. But I stayed home. I ordered Uber Eats for breakfast and dinner, and it was amazing. My oldest son was playing basketball, and I just sat and I just rested. I didn't unpack. All the clothes are clean though because we washed before we left Orlando. I haven't even folded the clothes that I washed before packing, but that's okay. It'll get done. I'm not stressed. I did, I didn't work out. I haven't been to the gym in 2 weeks, but because I've been still eating healthy and drinking my water, I haven't really gained weight. Like, I'm pretty consistent. And now we're back here on Friday, August 12th, and I'm recording this episode. The estimates for the door, they just left, and I feel thankful. My plate is no longer as full as it was because I've handled it. I've ingested what I need to ingest. I've thrown away what needs to be thrown away. And most importantly, I've learned lessons. So in me telling you this whole story, and I hope you weren't bored. I hope you weren't like, girl, I deal with shit all the time. I learned some lessons. I learned some really valuable lessons on how to maneuver in the best way possible when your plate is full. You're going to have full plate seasons. You're going to have drought seasons. You're going to have I'm hungry seasons. You're going to have I'm good, I ate enough seasons. But when your plate is full, in that month and a couple of days, these are the things that I learned that I hope can help you as well. So first, and these are in no order, I'm just listing them. Keep your wellness routine. So while I was in town and feeling my best, I made sure that I made all of my gym appointments. And I made sure that I drank water. I can't say I ate really healthy when I was in Orlando. Like, I had pasta, I had fried shrimp, but I was on vacation. So I wasn't really tripping. And I also was walking so much. Like, when you're at these attractions, I logged 16,000 steps one day, 18 another day, because you're just consistently walking in the heat. So you're still exercising. So I drank my water and I kept my workout routine, my wellness routine. While I was on vacation, I went running. Even on the days I couldn't make it to the gym because I was preparing for leaving or traveling, I went running around my neighborhood that morning. When I went out of town to Atlanta, I went into the hotel gym and I worked out. Like, when I was on vacation in Orlando, I worked out in the morning. So it's really important for me to keep my wellness routine. I did not drink a lot of alcohol, with the exception of my girls' spa day. When I went to Orlando, I think I had like 2 drinks when I was at Epcot Center. I had 1 drink when I was at the Magic Kingdom. When me and my husband got back from Orlando, we went to dinner. I think I had 2 drinks. I had wine and an espresso martini. That's also important for me because for me, a lot of times I used to use alcohol as my self-care. And using alcohol as your self-care might make you think you feel better, but then you wake up feeling like shit the next morning, or you've had so much fun in this self-care fix that you don't take care of the things that need to be taken care of because you're tipsy. So refraining from drinking in the way that I used to was helpful for me, especially in this full plate season. I wasn't drinking while I was in Atlanta. I didn't drink until the last day because I wanted to be aware and really tapped in. And every event at that conference was open bar. Okay. I could have very easily got me a little drinky drink. Nobody would have known. They would have thought it was a Sprite. Whole time it's a whole Kettle One on the rocks. But I didn't. Also, because when you're being professional, like, I'm not drinking on the job. I'm not about to see me tipsy because I'm working. But also, I just wanted to be in the right mind space. So when I was in Atlanta, I did not drink until the closing event. After that, before I went to the airport, I went to the bar because I had to wait for my Uber anyway. Had a drink, ended up having a really great conversation with Janae. Janae was attending the conference with her son. And God, we had such a great conversation. And we're definitely going to keep in touch, though. I saved the alcohol for that celebration. Third lesson, keep it moving. There were many times where I was just like kind of stressed and not knowing what am I doing, but I did not stop. In this process of this opportunity with my church, I just moved forward with everything. I did not I didn't not pick the interview because I was going to be on vacation or because it was my family reunion. No, I kept it moving and I made things work around it. So keep it moving. Stay calm. Once the debacle at my space with the glass and all those things was over, my husband looked at me and he was like, yo, I don't know how you managed to do that and stay so calm, because he wouldn't have been able to. And I had to protect my peace in all of the situations. If I would have lost it, my clients would have lost it, the customers would have lost it, my kids would have lost it, I would have lost it at my husband. So I had to ensure that I stayed calm. That was the only way that I was going to get through this stuff. Another lesson, over communicate. I had to, when our power went out for 4 days and I could not give the client a proposal, I sent an email immediately saying, hi, we just had a pretty devastating storm. I need a little more time to get you the proposal. I kept her updated. When I was planning to go to Atlanta and needed to stop with the baby shower planning, I did all I can do. I said to my mom, hey mom, here's where we are. After this time on this day, I can't do anything for the baby shower until I get back on Saturday. I over communicated. I told my husband on August 1st, I need a day to myself. I told him that days before. I over communicated what I needed. And even in the issue with the door not opening in the glass, I kept in touch with the customer. Like I literally was texting, calling, like I never lost touch. I never went ghost. And I continuously let people know who play a role in my life. I continuously let people know what was happening. Over communicate. You have to. Nobody's going to understand or know what's going on if you don't tell them. Get help. Oh, Lord. I needed help. So I just want to say thank you to Ty for coming to the space and literally being me while I was in Orlando with my family, helping diffuse the situation. Thank you to my homegirls who, when the shit happened with the power going out and the devastation of homes around my home being demolished, thank God my home wasn't one of those homes. But also thank God that people were not killed or severely hurt. I told my friends and they was just like, it's going to be okay. Let us know if you need anything. When I told them I was still going to come, they was like, that's right. Make lemons out of lemonade. You come on. We're going to have a good time. And they just lifted my spirits. And I'm so thankful for them. I want to thank my mom, who I already talked about so much earlier in the episode, how she's been encouraging me extra, I feel like, over the last month. And I need that. And I appreciate that. Thanks to my in-laws for stepping in and keeping the babies when I needed help. Oh my God, my virtual assistant, Aileen, like because of Aileen, I'm able to, y'all didn't know nothing was going on because the episodes still kept rolling because of her. Stay professional. That's another lesson. Stay professional. And if I'm being honest, I think you need to be professional in your personal life as well. There's so many instances where you can be like, F this, da 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 da. But in me staying calm in my dealings with my family, when I was stressed, that was me being professional also. And at the end of the day, when you're dealing with this life stuff in a professional setting, you got to remember it's not personal. So when you're able to rise above and keep your professional demeanor to the world externally, that just keeps you solid. And I think staying professional in emails, like I remember I was on a call with the Atlanta client and my husband was there. And he said to me after the call, he was like, yo, I'm kind of getting a little cringy when you was talking to these people because you were getting too comfortable. And when he said that, I was like, ooh, you're right. So from that moment on, I kept it so professional when I was in Atlanta, when I was moving and just wanting to ensure that my best, my most professional self was visible at all times. I'll also say, make sure you're adding in self-care however you can. And for me, I can't tell you what you need to feel full. But for me, it was absolutely making that girl's day happen, that spa day. I needed that. I needed to be rubbed down. I needed to be in the sun. I needed to be at the pool, especially juxtaposed to what was happening at my home with no power, all those things. So I also flew first class. When I went to Atlanta, that was a very quick trip, last minute. The client, they paid for a portion of it because I was traveling for them, but I just paid the difference and did a first class flight. And when I traveled to Atlanta for the conference before, when I went to Miami with my husband, my last few flights I've been flying first class because it provides the space that I need. I can get on the flight, I can open my laptop, I can read in peace. It just works for me. That is self-care for me. I have been resting. I put rest in the calendar. August 1st, I rested. Today, when I finish this episode, I am resting. I've also been reading. You guys, not if you knew me, but as a child, I read all the time. And my mom still has all the books that I read. I done read LL Cool J's autobiography, Patti LaBelle's autobiography. I read. Your girl reads. But after having them 2 kids back to back and being a real mom for 5 years, I haven't had time to read. And so when I did my 2022 mid-year reset, I said that I want to read 2 books a month. And I am keeping with that because reading just makes me better. So I finished this book, We Should All Be Millionaires. I finished this book while I was in Orlando. And I have a new book that I am reading now. I don't know if I have it with me. Yep, I do. And it is Managing Your Career. I bought this in the airport at Orlando, and I'm going to read this too. This is going to be the second book or the first book in August that I read. And that has just, it just makes me feel better. And so those are figure out what self-care looks like for you. Figure out what you need to stay content in your crazy, hectic, full plate seasons. And then I think this is really the most important. Be thankful for it all. Be thankful for it all because God never gives you something that you can't handle. He never gives you something that's not for you. He never gives you something that he hasn't already equipped you with the skills, the resources, the people, the lessons. You just got to be thankful and tap into all of it. I prayed for a full plate and God gave it to me so that I could eat. Literally, these opportunities are feeding me financially, but they're also making me Teflon strong, okay? And baby, I know that I'm built different. I know that I move in a way that some people can't, partially because they don't appreciate the blessings in having full plates. I've always been someone who got a lot of things going on, and that works well for me, especially when I've had in the time to be quiet and be still. So with care, with strategy, with patience, and with a grateful heart, ain't really much that I can't do. Your girl gonna make it happen. And that's without a huge team. That's without millions of dollars. That's without all the popularity and all the Instagram likes. Like, I'm solid. And because I'm solid and because I'm thankful for every single thing that God puts on my plate, the fullness that he provides for me it's no stopping me. So let me know how you move through your full play seasons. I don't really know how long this episode is because I've had to stop multiple times because life be happening, but I got it done. And now I can go into the rest of the day feeling a sigh of relief because this episode is going to come to you. It's going to be edited. Aileen is going to chef's kiss, make it beautiful. And I am excited about next week's episode and the episode after that. And I also said that August was going to be slow and it's going to be light. I want to go into the fall with a plan, obviously knowing that some things are going to happen out of my control. But I really want to get my babies ready for school, all my kids ready for school peacefully and not under pressure. And I want to now kind of spend a little more time and focus on what this business rebrand looks like. Wasn't able to give it what it needed in July because God made my plate full. But some things are now taken off the plate so that I can refocus on what the business looks like. I hope this was helpful for you. Let me know how you deal with life in your full plate seasons. Make sure you like and subscribe, rate and review the show on the audio platform or the YouTube platform. Leave a review because I do want to read more reviews. I haven't really gotten many new ones. So if you leave me one, I'll read it. If you want to open up your own content studio like this, click the Open Your Own Studio in the show note links. If you want to tell me how you feel about the show, I have a gift for you. So click the a gift for you in the show note links. I think that's it. If I forgot anything, blame it on my mind, not my heart. I love you. I am now heading to my rest day, and I'm going to the mall and I'm going to the pool. So I'll see you next week. Enjoy your weekend. I don't even know when you're going to hear this, but enjoy your day. And I pray that God fills your life, fills your plate, fills your spirit, fills your mind with everything you need to be your best, your most content. And when you open your eyes and you realize what He has given you, and you understand that it's because it's for you, I swear and I promise things will just kind of line up and alignment will happen for you. So on that note, be great. Share this episode with someone, please, because it's good. I done let y'all into my life. So share it. Holla.
All right, now, y'all, don't forget to connect with Shades of Content on Instagram at Shades of Content, and with me, Patrice Camo, at Patrice Camo. And also be sure to rate this show, leave a review, and subscribe, because that's actually the only way that we're going to grow. I'll see you next week.